Good evening. I welcome you to Strange Nexus, your portal to the realms of the strange, spooky, and unexplained. On tonight's episode, we hear the tale of Daniel Everette, a UFO crash retrieval expert on his most recent and final mission.
I've always been drawn to the unknown. As a child, I would stare at the night sky, wondering what secrets lay hidden beyond the stars. Little did I know that my insatiable curiosity would lead me down a path darker and more terrifying than anything I could have imagined. My name is Daniel Everette, and I'm an alien UFO crash recovery expert. For years, I've been called upon to investigate the unexplainable, to uncover the truth behind the inexplicable wreckage that falls from the sky. Each crash I've encountered has left me more haunted and scarred than the last, and the most harrowing of them all began on a cold, moonless night in a remote corner of New Mexico. It was a place that most had forgotten, a barren expanse of desert where the wind whispered secrets to the shifting sands. I had received a call from a classified government agency, summoning me to this desolate location. The voice on the other end of the line offered no explanation, only a chilling command to meet them there. As I arrived at the rendezvous point, the headlights of my Jeep cut through the inky darkness, revealing a group of shadowy figures standing beside a chain-link fence. I approached cautiously, my heart pounding in my chest. The leader of the group, a stern-faced man in a black suit, stepped forward. "Mr. Everette, I presume?" he said, his voice devoid of emotion. I nodded, my unease growing by the second. "Who are you people, and why have you brought me here?" The man didn't answer my question. Instead, he handed me a stack of non-disclosure agreements and a pen. "Sign these," he said tersely. I scanned the documents, realizing that I had no choice but to comply if I wanted any answers. I scribbled my name on the dotted lines, sealing my fate with each stroke of the pen. With the contracts in hand, the man motioned for me to follow him through the gate and into the desert. We walked for what felt like hours, the only sound the crunch of our boots on the parched earth. Finally, we arrived at a massive crater, its depths shrouded in darkness. At the center of the pit lay the wreckage of a craft unlike anything I had ever seen before. It was a twisted, otherworldly mass of metal and circuitry, its form both awe-inspiring and horrifying. As I approached the wreckage, a wave of nausea washed over me. The air crackled with an unnatural energy, and I could feel the weight of countless eyes upon me, though I saw no one else in the crater. "What is this?" I whispered, my voice barely audible. The man in the black suit spoke again, his voice hollow. "It's an alien spacecraft, Mr. Everette, and it crashed here just hours ago." The realization hit me like a bolt of lightning. This was no ordinary crash. I'd seen my fair share of downed UFOs, but this one was different. Its twisted metallic frame seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched by something not of this earth. My unease only deepened as the team of government agents and scientists began their work. They moved with a sense of urgency, their faces etched with fear and determination. It was clear that they knew something I didn't, something far more sinister. I approached the wreckage, my gloved hand trembling as I reached out to touch it. The metal was cold to the touch, but beneath the surface I could feel a faint rhythmic hum. It was as if the very essence of the craft was alive, pulsating with an alien energy. One of the scientists, a young woman with piercing blue eyes, turned to me. "We need your expertise, Mr. Everette. We need to understand what happened here and what this craft is capable of." I nodded, my throat dry. "I'll do what I can." Over the next few days, I worked tirelessly alongside the team, carefully documenting the wreckage and collecting samples for analysis. The more I learned about the craft, the more unsettling it became. It seemed to defy the laws of physics, its technology far beyond anything humanity had ever achieved. As we delved deeper into our investigation, strange things began to happen. Equipment malfunctioned inexplicably, and the desert night seemed to come alive with eerie whispers and shadowy figures. I couldn't shake the feeling that we were not alone, that something was lurking just beyond the edge of our vision. One night, as I sifted through the wreckage, I found a small metallic object hidden beneath a panel of the craft's exterior. It was unlike anything I had ever seen before, a small ornate box adorned with intricate symbols and pulsating with an otherworldly glow. I couldn't resist the urge to open it. As I lifted the lid, a blinding light erupted from within, and I was overcome by a sensation of pure dread. I felt as though I were falling into a bottomless abyss, surrounded by a cacophony of otherworldly voices. It was a sensation I can't describe, a maddening, soul-rending terror that threatened to consume me whole. When I awoke, I was no longer in the desert. I was in a place beyond comprehension. A realm of twisted, nightmarish landscapes and eldritch horrors that defied all reason. It was a place that existed outside of time and space. A place where the laws of reality had no meaning. I stumbled through this nightmarish hellscape, my mind unraveling with each passing moment. The sky above was a seething maelstrom of shifting colors and grotesque shapes, and the ground beneath my feet was a shifting, writhing mass of tendrils and teeth. I could hear the agonized cries of countless souls echoing in the distance, their voices a chorus of despair. And then, I saw them. Those who had once piloted the crashed spacecraft. They were not human, their bodies twisted and contorted into grotesque, nightmarish forms. Their eyes glowed with an unholy light, and they moved with an unnatural grace, as if puppeteered by some malevolent force. They approached me, their voices a cacophony of whispers and hisses. "Welcome, Daniel Everette," they said in unison, their words sending shivers down my spine. "You have unlocked the gateway to our world." I tried to run, to escape this nightmarish realm, but there was no escape. The very fabric of reality seemed to warp and shift around me, closing in like a vice. I was trapped in a waking nightmare, and there was no way out. As the days turned into weeks, or perhaps even centuries, I lost all sense of time. I wandered through that accursed realm, my sanity slipping away with each passing moment. The horrors I witnessed were beyond description, monstrous creatures that defied all reason, landscapes of madness and despair, and a sense of unending dread that hung in the air like a toxic cloud. And then, just as suddenly as it had begun, it was over. I found myself back in the desert, lying beside the wreckage of the crashed spacecraft. The night sky stretched out above me, the stars indifferent to the horrors I had witnessed. I was alive, but I was forever changed. I returned to the world of the living, but I was no longer the man I once was. The horrors of that otherworldly realm had left their mark on my soul, and I was haunted by visions of the eldritch horrors I had witnessed. Nightmares plagued my sleep, and I could no longer distinguish between reality and the twisted hallucinations that tormented me. The government agency that had brought me to the crash site had disappeared without a trace, leaving me with no answers and no one to turn to. I was alone, adrift in a sea of madness and despair. I became obsessed with the crashed spacecraft, convinced that it held the key to understanding what had happened to me. I returned to the desert night after night, studying the wreckage and deciphering its alien technology. The more I learned, the deeper I descended into madness. One night, as I stood before the wreckage, a voice whispered in my ear. A voice not my own, but one that seemed to come from the very fabric of the craft itself. It spoke in a language I could not understand, yet I felt a strange compulsion to respond. "Yes," I whispered in a voice not my own. "I am here." The voice laughed, a chilling, otherworldly laugh that sent shivers down my spine. "You have been chosen, Daniel Everette. Chosen to serve as our vessel in this world." I tried to resist, to fight against the alien presence that had invaded my mind, but it was futile. I was no longer in control of my own body, a mere puppet in the hands of the eldritch entity that had taken hold of me. As I write these words, I can feel its presence growing stronger, its insidious influence spreading like a cancer through my mind. I know that I am no longer the man I once was, that I am now a vessel for something far more malevolent and ancient than anything I could have imagined. And so I leave this record as a warning to those who dare to delve into the unknown, to those who seek to uncover the secrets of the cosmos. Beware, for there are forces beyond our comprehension, forces that can shatter the boundaries of reality and plunge us into a nightmare from which there is no escape. My name is Daniel Everette, and I'm lost to the darkness. May my story serve as a cautionary tale, a testament to the horrors that lurk in the shadows of the universe, waiting to consume those who dare to seek the truth.
This reality never ceases to amaze me. What a tale. Now click subscribe and like this video for more strange Nexus.